Anybody with siblings knows that sometimes jealousy can creep in. Despite their fame and success, the KarJenner sisters are not immune to the sibling rivalries, even Kendall Jenner. Though Kendall has made her own way in the fashion industry, and now with her tequila brand, there's still moments she may get a little jealous of her sisters.
Oh no, I'm glad you did lie to me.
Number 1. Vogue cover. Kendall may be the supermodel of the family, but having the same momager as her sisters sometimes means competing for the same gigs. This time, it was the ever-coveted Vogue US cover. The cover of Vogue has always been Kim's dream. Even though both she and Kendall have already been on the cover in the past, Kim said this recent cover was special for her. It could be because this is her first cover as Kim Kardashian, no West. Kendall's response to the news was, of course, being happy for her sister, but she also said, "I would have been extremely honored and beyond excited to get this Vogue cover." The cover also went to Kim after Kendall had already done a test shoot, so it's understandable if she felt a little jealous of her older sister. Number 2. Glam skills. It's no secret Kendall isn't deep into the beauty industry like her sisters, especially Kim and Kylie, who own their own brands. And when it comes to getting glammed up, she knows she's not at the same level as them. But in the past, she has been known to make fun of Kylie's makeup techniques.
Remember when I used to do your makeup, like in high school?
No, you did not. You're such a liar.
You could say she was a little jealous of Kylie's growing skills because a few short years later, during her Vogue Beauty Secrets video, Kendall herself admitted Kylie is a pro when it comes to the glam life.
It is who they are and literally what they've always loved.
But Kendall has found her lane when it comes to makeup, and she's sticking to it. Number 3. Anxiety in the public eye. Over the last few years, Kendall has been pretty open about her struggles dealing with anxiety and living in the public eye. Unlike her sister Kim, who used to love seeing paparazzi in the early days of her rise to fame, Kendall said she used to get angry when they would show up wherever she was. But over time, she says she's found ways to cope with dealing with it. However, she also says that it gets frustrating with her family sometimes because she says they don't always understand how she feels.
Especially Chloe, like we would have gone, no matter how sick we are, that's just who we are.
But Kendall wishes they would understand her on days where she doesn't feel up to working, which can't be easy in a family of sisters who start their days before the sun is up.
And I was experiencing, symptoms of anxiety.
Number 4. Dealing with controversy. Kendall hasn't been a stranger to controversy, and neither has the rest of her family, to be honest. But she hasn't always known how to deal with it. When she was first caught in the wind of backlash from her controversial Pepsi commercial, Kendall said she shut down.
The fact that I would offend other people or hurt other people was definitely not the intent.
There was a point she was worried she wouldn't be able to bounce back from the criticism. Her sister, Chloe, noted how sensitive Kendall is to controversy, unlike her other sisters who have learned to get ahead of it. Though Kendall may have felt she should be able to handle things like her older sisters, they're always there to support her. And at the end of the day, people handle things differently, and that's clear in the KarJenner clan. Number 5. No wedding bells yet. Two sisters who are or have been married, some more times than others, but we won't get into that, have Kendall feeling the wedding jitters just a little bit. Kendall has explicitly stated that she wasn't ready to settle down in the past, but during a game of Never Have I Ever with her BFF Hailey Bieber, she jokingly, not so jokingly, admitted a wedding dress would be nice, but that nobody had ever proposed to her. We get it, Kendall. When your sisters are getting married and engaged, and so are your friends, the comparison can creep in. But if Kendall had to get married, she said she would much rather have a spur-of-the-moment nuptials and just elope to City Hall. Number 6. Baby fever. Just like wedding fever, baby fever is a thing for Kendall Jenner. Now that all her sisters have kids of their own, Kendall has started thinking about having her own.
Clearly no baby fever is kicking in, and I'm here for it. You're just living your best life.
Yes and no.
Especially once her younger sister Kylie became a mother. In fact, she offered to babysit family friend Malika's newborn baby, Ace, to get some practice. Since that wasn't enough to truly test her baby fever, she watched True, Chicago, and Psalm, while her sisters had what they called a Mom's Gone Wild night. Kendall was pretty jealous of her sisters at that moment, dealing with 3 high-energy toddlers for the night. Even though the experience may have been a lot, it hasn't completely deterred Kendall away from motherhood. But the baby fever may not be so high.
Most days I'm like, oh my god, this is too much.
Number 7. Minding her own business. For the world, it would have been obvious for Kendall to follow in her sister's footsteps, either with a spin-off show of her own like Kylie and Khloe, or by going into beauty or fashion. But Kendall has found her own path, minding her business and following her passions, which have ultimately led her to her tequila brand, 818. However, that doesn't mean that along the way, she didn't notice her sisters beginning their business ventures and collaborating with one another. Kendall has always kept to herself, and even recalled being jealous of Kylie's ability to branch out and put herself out there. But now, Kendall is branching out too. Number 8. Comfort over fashion. As a self-proclaimed tomboy, Kendall has always said her style is different from her sisters. When describing her style on her old website, KendallJ.com, she said, "Compared to all of my sisters, though, I feel like I'm not as trendy." She said she prefers something simple and nothing too crazy. Though she has grown into her own style over the years, there are still times her sisters' fashion choices lead to arguments. We can't forget the fight she had with Kylie over an outfit she wanted. But there are some days the tomboy Kendall shows up, and dresses don't work in her favor. Like walking up steep Italian steps in her bridesmaid's gown. But, as always, Kendall finds her way. Number 9. KarJenners in the kitchen. Khloe has always been open about her love for cooking and how much she loves her kitchen. Kris, the matriarch of the KarJenners, has a couple of cookbooks under her belt filled with family recipes. Cooking for some Kardashians comes easy, but that's not the case for Kendall. Despite her love for her kitchen and her newfound pastime of making meals with her friends, Kendall's cooking skills aren't quite on the same level as her siblings. Cutting the cucumber told us all we had to know about her knife skills. But though Kendall may be jealous of her sisters chefing it up in the kitchen, Khloe says she'll be sure to show her some skills. Number 10. The different sister. Kendall has always known she's a little different from her sisters. She's always been the sports-loving tomboy of the family. Though she has built a life she loves, she recalls there were times she would cry because she didn't have the same social life as Kylie when they were younger, preferring to ride her horses or hang out alone in her room. But she's grown into loving that difference. Even though she may occasionally compare her style or glam abilities to that of her sisters, she's comfortable in her difference. Number 11. The Kardashian Name. The Kardashian name has become a household name over the last decade, and they've had millions keeping up with them as their empire grows. But Kendall's empire was grown without using the Kardashian key. She says it has been harder for her to prove herself as a serious model because people thought she was there because of her name. She said she had to work harder because of her name and fame from keeping up with the Kardashians. Unlike her other sisters, who, in Kourtney's case, Kim had no problem letting know she was the reason she had her career and that she bought their careers. Kendall may disagree with that a little, though. Number 12. Privacy over publicity. Kendall has always been open about why she keeps her life private. Despite growing up with cameras and her family's life being broadcasted to the world since she was 11 years old, Kendall was still shyer than her outspoken sisters. Kendall said she had to work at being more outspoken and outgoing, like her sisters, the more she started working as a model, but that she still gets shy once in a while and likes to keep things to herself.
I definitely am so obviously proud of my sisters.
It's easy to compare yourself when all your sisters are famous, but shout out to Kendall for doing her own thing despite it. Do you think Kendall has anything to be jealous of? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe to The Thing Celebrity for more on your favorite celebs.